Well, it looks like the upcoming Neil Armstrong biopic, First Man, is in a bit of a controversy for omitting the American flag being planted on the moon. Now, before we dive into this story, I want to make one thing very, 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 very clear. The director of the film, Damien Chazelle, I love him. I love the shit out of Damien Chazelle. His first film, Whiplash, is awesome. I love it. It's amazing, intense. The music's great. The acting is superb with J.K. Simmons. It's just a stellar movie. Like, I love it. I could watch it over and over again. La La Land, not my favorite, but I wasn't a big fan, but I could still see Damien Chazelle's talent there. And I was looking forward to this movie because it also has Ryan Gosling in it, who I love. I really like Ryan Gosling. He's a great actor. I still don't think he's done his best work yet, but I still think he's one of our best up and coming actors. In The Big Short, he was amazing. Blade Runner 2049, which is a movie I love the shit out of. That's one of my top movies of all time. I love Blade Runner 2049. And Ryan Gosling's great in that. You know, he doesn't do so much in the acting department. There's that one scene where uh, he has that little freak out. He acted his ass off there. Like, tell you, the guy's got some talent. I can't wait to see what else he does. And that's why I was looking forward to this movie. And then I see this shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And this really got attention because Marco Rubio tweeted out this article and said, "This is total lunacy and a disservice at the time when our people need reminders of that what we can achieve when we work together. The American people paid for that mission on rockets built by Americans with American technology and carrying American astronauts. It wasn't a UN mission. Damn straight." But seeing this news just depressed me. It really did depress me because, like I said, I love Damien Chazelle. I love Ryan Gosling. This movie should be awesome, and I see this, it just depresses me. It really does. Because I know what it is. This is Hollywood pandering to Chinese audiences. This is Hollywood trying not to offend Chinese audiences. This is Hollywood interfering with the movie making so they don't offend the Chinese. Because if you don't know about Hollywood now, it is very structured when they make their movies now that they can do good in America and they can do good in China. 'Cause if they fail here, they'll always make up their money in China. China's got a big audience, lots of theaters now. They'll make a lot of money and they don't have to worry. And it's a big market, so they're going to appeal to it. They've done all kinds of changes in the film industry to make films adaptable to China and to make them viewable in China. For instance, animated films now get totally reanimated their mouth movements and all that so that when it's spoken in Chinese, it looks perfect. And they do other little things so that it doesn't offend the Chinese, so the Chinese government's okay with it, passes their sniff test. But, of course, you'd expect some people else to react to it other than the people in the movie, which we'll get to in a second. But Buzz Aldrin reacted with these pictures on Twitter saying, hashtag proud to be an American, hashtag freedom, hashtag honor, hashtag one nation, hashtag Apollo 11, hashtag July 1969, hashtag road to Apollo 50. We should give him a follow while we're at it. He's standing up for it. He's showing these pictures. I think he's definitely one that's a little pissed off the film isn't showing the flag being planted, which is obviously a very iconic big moment. It's like this should be literally the peak of the film, the magnum opus, the full epic massive moment that it's gonna be the one you remember. I mean, obviously you're gonna remember our great stuff, but that's gonna be the fucking moment. That's gonna be the shit right there. And they're not gonna show it, which is it's just weird. So, of course, as expected, Ryan Gosling did respond, and he responded with saying Neil Armstrong didn't view himself as an American hero. It's kind of funny this Canadian actor's trying to say what this guy viewed himself as. He said, I don't think he saw himself as an American hero. Full disclosure, I'm Canadian, so this might be some form kind of distance. Fair enough, but I think this achievement was rightly regarded as not as an American, but as a human achievement. True to an extent, and that's how we choose to view it. I don't think Neil viewed himself as an American hero, quite the opposite. Neil was someone who was extremely humble, as were many of these astronauts. Probably very true. The way he made the film was to honor the way Neil viewed himself. That's fair. I don't have a problem with this being viewed as a human achievement, because it is a human achievement. But it's also an American achievement. And you can show this as an American achievement and show it as a human achievement at the same time. You don't have to admit the flag planting to show that this is a human achievement. Of course, Damien Chazelle, by the way, very young director. That's why I've always been excited about his work. He's only 33, and he's cranking out some of the best shit, of the past few years. Like, I look forward to his shit. I look forward to Christopher Nolan's shit. I look forward to Denis Villeneuve's shit. Like, I look forward to these directors. These guys are going to be our Steven Spielbergs and our Stanley Kubricks and our George Lucas's. These guys are going to be big shit. And even better than those guys, possibly. And he also talks about the authentic stuff in the film, which I think is great and all that. But, it's kind of depressing how they responded to that. Ryan Gosling says that Neil Armstrong didn't view himself as an American hero. Let's look at what Chuck Yeager said. Somebody said that the exact thing I said, that how they're painting Neil Armstrong in the film, and he says, that's not the Neil Armstrong I knew. Interesting. They're saying they're portraying him as this liberal that would probably agree with the national anthem kneelers, but Chuck Yeager, who knew him, said that's not the Neil Armstrong I knew, almost backing up the fact that Neil Armstrong would view this as an American achievement and also a human achievement. Of course, Chuck Yeager also sent out this tweet, retweeting Buzz Aldrin's tweet saying, I was the first commandant of the ARPS First School for Training First Astronauts. Pretty cool. I am fully aware of the U.S. goals. President Eisenhower, JFK, Johnson, and Nixon. U.S. will get to the moon first. U.S. And we did. It's awesome that we did. First step was getting above Mach 1. We did that first too. Hell fucking yeah. America fuck yeah. That's why I love this country. But at the same time, you have Neil Armstrong's sons saying that the film isn't anti-American. And they offer some interesting insight here that I think is worth noting. They said that there are numerous shots of the American flag on the moon. Now that's great. They said the filmmakers, there are numerous shots of the American flag on the moon, and the filmmakers chose focus on Neil looking back at the Earth. That's cool, but we can do both things, can't we? His walk to Little West Crater, his unique personal experience of completing this journey, a journey that has been so many incredible highs and devastating lows. Like I said, I'm just shooting the shit here, trying to figure this out, because I haven't seen the film. I'd love to see the film, honestly, because I will see any movie. I will literally see anything. So I want to see this and give a full opinion and probably a full review of this at the end of it to really understand what the director is going for, and if this was his vision, and if it played out well, and if it worked, etc., so that I know if this is an appropriate decision. But to me, I don't want to try to put my, brain into Damien Chazelle and try to think like him and, get into his shoes, but I just don't understand why he'd admit something like this. The only thing I can think of is so that it's pandering to Chinese audiences. It's literally the only thing I can think of. Now, people are going to say, well, but they just said here that they're going to show shots of the American flag. Yes, but that's not as dramatic as literally putting it in. The Chinese might get triggered by that. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure this out here, okay, guys? Critics have liked the film, which I expect is Damien Chazelle, so we shall see. But Chazelle did respond back, saying, to address the question whether this political statement, the answer is no. My goal is with this movie is to show audiences the unseen, unknown aspects of the Americans' mission to the moon, particularly Neil Armstrong's personal saga. That's good. And what he may have been thinking and feeling during those famous few hours. Famous! Okay, so we should show the most famous fucking part, which is putting the flag in. I just don't get why you don't want to show that. I think he did want to show that. I think studios got involved and told him we gotta take that out for the Chinese. And I have no problem seeing his personal side. I think that's cool because it'll give the film some uniqueness. It's not just, we know what's gonna happen because biopics, what's gonna happen. The shit's gonna go down with Neil Armstrong. He's gonna go on the fucking moon and land. But if you show his personal stuff, it's more interesting. I get that. I wanted the primary focus in that scene to be Neil's solitary moments on the moon. Fine. His point of view as he first exited the LEM. His time spent at Little West Crater. Fine. The memories that he may have crossed his mind during his lunar EVA. Fine. This was a feat beyond imagination. It was truly a giant leap from mankind. Very true, but it was also an American achievement, and don't try to change fucking history. I know you can do whatever you want in your film, and I know that there's going to be some decisions you make, but this just seems like some, like, how can you not have the American flag being put in? Just how can you not have it? Someone's about one of the most extraordinary accomplishments not only in American history, damn straight, but in human history. That's very true! So why don't you show the flag? My hope is that by digging under the surface and humanizing the icon, we can better understand just how difficult, audacious, and heroic this moment really was. I agree with everything he literally says there. Just why don't you show the flag? It would have made that more consistent. I don't get it. The only explanation I've said many times that makes sense is that they omitted it for Chinese audiences so they wouldn't get triggered. But if that's the case, why don't they show it in the American version, but in the Chinese version they cut it out? Because at least there would be one version where the director has it the way he wanted to. Because I have a feeling that's what Damien Chazelle wanted. I have a feeling, I could be wrong, I'm mind reading here, but I'm just taking a guess. I'm shooting the shit here. Of course, Trump did respond to this, which I think is interesting. And he said, it's unfortunate that they didn't put the flag in there. It's almost like it's embarrassed at the achievement coming from America. I think it's a terrible thing. And he continued by saying, when you think of Neil Armstrong, you think of the landing on the moon, you think about the American flag. Exactly. For that reason, I wouldn't even want to watch this movie. That's the only part I disagree with. I still want to watch this shit. It's fucking Damien Chazelle and fucking Ryan Gosling. But I understand where he's coming from, and that's what I'm saying. Is like, I get that they want to show his personal side. I get that. I get the different take. But there's just certain stuff that you gotta show in there. Like, that's just, it's the moment. It's what this was all about. The landing, yes, and the stepping out's the big moment, but it's that flag. It's like the cherry on top of this epic moment. But reviews so far are 88% Rotten Tomatoes. Interesting to see how that will go up or down. I have usually tomato scores tend to go down. I think this one's going to stay kind of steady. Might actually go up a bit. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But it's at 22 fresh, 3 rotten, so not many reviews are in. I definitely want to see it. Might not see it in theaters because I still want to see Mission Impossible Fallout, which looks fucking awesome. But we shall see. If it's any good, I hope it is. It's Damien Chazelle, so it should be fucking solid, but who knows? Yeah, I just wish that they, wouldn't omit stuff like this. Maybe it makes sense when you see the film. I'm keeping an open mind, but so far, my take is that they're just trying not to offend the Chinese. That's the only thing I can think of. But if that were the case, I don't see why they couldn't make 2 different versions, unless they don't want to take the time, which I don't know why. I don't see how it'd be too difficult, but Mission Impossible fucking Fallout's at 97%. Hell fucking yeah, I can't wait to see that. So, last thing I will say is just go watch movies and enjoy them, but remember that your dollar has influence. Mission Impossible still, weeks later, is number 3 in the box office with $7 million. People are loving this shit. I know I'm gonna love this shit, but that trailer is fucking awesome. But reward good shit. And if something's bad, just see it later. See it on streaming, see it on DVD or whatever. See it in another medium that you don't have to give so much money to theaters. The theater is expensive, I understand that. So I just want people to love movies and watch more movies. So I hope this doesn't become a norm. I hope Damien Chazelle made the right choice. I hope it wasn't students getting involved, but I have a bad feeling about it.